Welcome back. So in this video we're going to do some gardening, that's right. Now I've got loads of trees in the garden, fruit trees, and a lot of them are on a rootstock which is preventing the trees from growing massive, but it's also meaning that the rootstock means that the trees will produce a lot of fruit, so they're heavy croppers. So I've got a few apple trees in particular and other fruits that look a bit the small weak branches are drooping from the weight of the fruit. I don't want them to snap. I've had a couple of instances of this already where the branch snaps off. You obviously lose the fruit and the branch, and you could potentially get disease too. So I've got a plan to try and stop this from happening. I've basically bought a few things here. So I've bought some string from the garden centre, which I'm going to use on this mini project. I've brought, or should I say bought, two of these stretchable ties. So there's 2 packs of 2, so I'm going to do 4 trees basically. I've got more than 4, but I'm going to pick the 4 most prone and try and do those. So these will allow me to fix the trunk of the tree to a post. I'm going to hammer. I've bought 4 posts. I'm going to hammer these into the ground, trying to be careful not to disturb the roots too much if possible. That's slightly tricky unless I do it at an angle, but I'm not. So anyway, I'm going to hammer in the poles. I'm going to attach the main trunk to the pole, and then I'm going to use the string to basically try and sort of suspend the branches and give them a bit more support, stop them from falling further down and potentially snapping off. That's the plan. So that's what I want to do. That's what I plan to do. It's currently a ridiculous heat wave in the UK. It's approaching 40 degrees, I think, tomorrow. So it's very humid and sweaty. It's probably the kind of day where you go inside, shut the curtains and try and keep cool. But I'm going to go outside into the sun and get hot and bothered with an outdoor DIY project. So let's get cracking. So the first one I'm going to tackle is this one here. It's quite a small tree, as you can see, but it's got quite a lot of apples coming on it, and you can see the branches are bending, and that's, startling the chickens. No, you can see that the branches are bending, and I want to be able to keep them suspended. At the moment I've got a pole, but it's just not big enough, and I think as this tree grows and crops more heavily, it's not going to be enough. So I'm going to cut this off, put a new stake in. I'll sort of use the same hole actually in this case, and then we'll see how we get on. Oh, look at that. That's not good, is it? I'm going to take that one off. But the others look really nice. What is this? Red Windsor. Superb. Cox-like flavour, it says. So like I said, the first 2 jobs is just to clip these 2 cable ties that I've been using previously and remove this pole. So here we go. 1. And if I can get this one as well. Good. Okay, so like I say, we'll use that hole now. So I'm just pushing it in by hand first, see how deep I can get that. Hopefully it should go in between roots now. The roots should have grown around the previous pole. And then I just need to hammer that top in now. You can put a block of wood on top of that so that it absorbs some of the initial impact and stops the top from splitting. But I've done okay there. It's gone in quite a bit, fairly steady. I'm happy with that. The chickens are very interested in watching me. What's going on, they wonder. This is where I'm going to put the tie, the black tie that I've bought. So I've got a little bit of a little bit of the trunk there to tie around there. And given that it's quite a small tree at the moment, I'm going to have it like about, like that. Don't need much circumference. So I've got it around the tree there, not too tight but tight enough. I just need to attach the rest around the actual post itself. It's nice and secure. Tree wobbles a tiny bit in the wind but not too much. I read something about letting the tree wobble a bit in order for it to stimulate kind of roots to grow and hold it in place. Don't know where I heard that, might be rubbish, but... So now I've done that bit, I just need to work on trying to suspend these other sort of twiggy branches from the top. Right, for the next bit, I'm going to staple, using this stapler, some string wrapped around the top of here to keep it there, and then the string will obviously descend down to meet a branch and keep it lifted up. That's the idea anyway. Oh, I've just noticed there's some new blossom coming on that. Amazing. A bit late for that. So I've got a bit of string measured out, look, that's just about long enough to wrap around the top there, and also wrap around a branch. I've tied it just there, but I'm actually going to staple it just to stop this thing from moving up and down. What's up, chicken? What's wrong? It's quite hard to staple with one hand whilst you're filming. There we go. Yeah, that's one. Two, let's put three in. Perfect. I'm actually going to use this one to attach onto this emergency twig here, so I'll have to lift this up slightly and tie that on. I'll just put the camera down while I do this. Right, I've attached it onto there now. You can see it's being suspended quite well from there. I mean, the other option obviously is to try and remove some of the fruit to reduce the weight, but these look healthy, these 4 apples, so I want to keep them actually. Obviously if they're looking a bit diseased or they're not forming properly, take them off and that'll reduce the weight too. So I'm going to do a few more strings. So I've put 3 on now. One over there, one here, which is just supporting those, and this one's a bit loose at the moment, but I envisage that these apples will grow and they'll become heavier, and that'll put pressure on that branch. There's also a couple of apples down this end too, so that will eventually pull tight and it'll hold it there hopefully. So there we go, job done. What do you think, chickens? What do you think, chickens? Good job. Right, so here's another one. This is an even more severe case. You can see here this tree has got a lot of fruit on it. It's really bent, look at that, it's very heavy that. It must have about, what, 8 apples on there. There's one here with loads on. You can see I've made a really shoddy stick there, just stuck into the ground. But I'm gonna make this better using the same method that I've just described, because this one is really laden with fruit and all of the branches are just falling over. It's actually even making this fence fall over because it's leaning on it. So I'm going to see if I can fix it. I'll start, like last time, by removing the existing post and putting a new one in. Okay, this one's now done. It's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 suspending strings. Just need to get rid of these little traily bits of string, take them off. They always want to come and see what you're up to. Very curious. What are you doing? What are you doing? They say. This should give the tree enough support. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll come back in, I don't know, about a few days, and I might just need to take a... Hello, chicken. Take a few more apples off, possibly, just to reduce the weight. But this tree, it's not huge. What is it? It's called a scrumptious, on an M26 root stock. It's a few years old now, and it must have about 60, 70 apples on it. Looking forward to eating them. They were pretty nice last year, but it only made about half this, if that.